We had mediation today for those of you who are interested in how it went. So, on the phone call, and we were in separate rooms because they wanted us fighting amongst ourselves. We had Marianne's son, Michael Kinney, and then my brother. He's just trying to muck up the works for whatever reason, and then me. So, I had two questions. That's all I wanted is two questions answered. And number one is the things that they stole. My father's journals. My father kept like a daily journal, and Teresa Johnson, Marianne, my stepmother's Marianne's daughter, stole those, and along with a lot of other things. And so I want them returned. She, well, I know for a fact, this isn't speculation. She's admitted to taking them, and plus she was using them. So after Dad, Marianne died, the first thing she wanted to do is she's trying to sell the close on the church, sell it, and pocket all the income and my father's estate. She wants to take both of them, but the church is an independent entity. So she called. Well, Dad had the church membership list with all the contact information in the back of his journal. So she's exploiting that. So she called several people, threatening and harassing them. So she wants to seize the church, close it down, sell the church property and pocket it, and then because she was under the mistaken notion that my father owned the church. But the church is an independent entity, and then she's trying to take my father's estate out in Shepherd. So what they did is she burglarizes the place. She takes all my father's legal documents. I was talking to people today. It's like I'm kind of in a bad situation, but it's not my father's fault. He didn't put me in a bad situation where they're trying to take everything from me. I mean, she burglarized the place. She ransacked and stole everything. So I don't think my father could have conceived Teresa breaking into the house and stealing, the will and his journals. I don't think it's kind of a violation. Well, it's a violation. So there's the two things I wanted, through this is number one, the journals, at least the journals returned. And number two is like, do they just want to cash out? Is that all this is about? Because there might be a way. I made a proposal. It's like, if you just want to cash out, I got a proposal. I need to know. Here's what we can do to just uh, sell a portion of the property and give you the money if that's all you really want. But it seems like Michael and Teresa are seeing money signs in their eyes. Now, Dad just paid, I think, $11,000 that property when we initially bought it. Maybe a little more. Just the value of the property is, I think it's estimated like around $200,000, appraised by the county for property tax purposes. This is kind of absurd and funny, but Michael and Teresa think it's worth $500,000. So today we're working on the cemetery this morning, moving. So we got a new headstone for Mrs. Nutter, and then Jamie, one of the church members that passed when she's buried out there too. She didn't have a proper headstone. Now she does. So we're working out there, moving taking care of the cutting down branches, just doing lawn maintenance, and installing headstones. So we're working out there today on the farm. So there's the family cemetery. It's just there's swamp. The place floods. There's alligators on the property. It's not worth $500,000 the way he thinks it is. So the impression of what we're talking about today is he wants to, all the people that have been buried there, some for decades. He wants all the graves exhumed because he wants to take exhume all the people in the cemetery. It's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. But that's what he wants to do. Michael wants to remove all the graves, take the bodies out, throw away the headstones, so he can get us, $500,000. That's all he really cares about. But this is Teresa, so there's like this plausible deniability. He knows Teresa and Michael are in on this together. He knows very well that she's in possession of the will that she stole, and he knows that she's got my father's journal and other personal effects. He's kind of asking for Well, I want some of Marianne's property. Well, what property do you want? Why don't you give back what you took from me? I'll see what I can do. They're not interested in anything she had. I don't think there's much. I mean, if she was really interested in that while she was stealing my father's diaries and all this, why didn't she help herself to, if she really wanted her mother's, whatever there is that she supposedly wants? What is it? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Just tell me. They just want to go around there. They think that house is not in a good state of repair. It's not built to code. It's been damaged in hurricanes. And my father's house he's building, wasn't finished. The house isn't finished. It's got leaks and damage through the storms. I had to rebuild the road last year because it washed out. It floods often. So I went around the street the other day. I mean, it's like I've lived here for like 30 years. I never went down this road. Wonder what down is. I never had any reason to go down the road. So I'm gonna check down this road. There's a swamp like right down the road. It's just he's just out of his mind. But basically, what happened, and if he thinks it's that, just what's the money? I think they did come out, but they got dollar signs in their eyes. That they think this property is worth $500,000, which is absurd. Like I said, they just want to. Plus, I don't know if they realize that the house is in a state of disrepair. This wasn't finished being built, and it's damaged. It's got hurricane damage and other issues. But they think they can get all this money. I guess they want to seize the entire estate, and I don't think they're really interested in their mother's. I mean, he was here, never expressed an interest in what is it they want. There's not really much there. I mean, they had like Dad Marianne would read a devotional, different books on Christian faith, Bible studies. I don't know. I don't know what they want. I don't think they really want anything. They just want to go on the property because it's this big, they think they're going to get, it's their get rich quick scheme. Maybe they don't realize the house wasn't finished being built. Maybe they don't realize it's damaged. Maybe they don't realize the place floods often. And yeah, last year, trees falling down, the alligators. It's when Dad got the property, it's just like a getaway for the family. And he had this had this dream of building a house. He got to realize this dream. In his mind, I want to have a place of refuge for the family to stay. And he wanted, he wanted to build his dream house. He wanted to have a place for the family. That's why he built it. Wasn't some get rich scheme for Michael and Teresa. I don't think Dad conceived that property being, and it's not worth that much money. So if you get it, he's going to get. So what we're going to do is like, I want to get a professional appraiser on there. That property's worth $500,000. So the appraiser's going to see it's not worth that much, and it could be worth far less than the county appraises it for. And I was wondering if they got a lot of the property, it might sit there and not sell for a long time, and then they have to pay property taxes on it. And if he thinks he's just going to come and take the property now, which I've maintained as well as I can, this is my property. My father died, and then Marianne dies, and therefore he took the will to keep that from being executed. I mean, he did it. That's the reason why. They don't. He acts like his sister died, even though she was at court. When we're confronting him with these, he acts like he pretends like she doesn't exist. Teresa, who? What? Oh, who's that? Stole a will and all the legal documents and journals. Oh, really? And then she's sitting there in court right next to him. He pretends like she doesn't exist. Like he don't know what's going on. So, actually, I feel pretty good now. And then we got my brother Paul. And what is he doing? My uncle is in very ill health. We pray for him. I want him kicked out of that property right now. I want Jeff off the property, and I want to run this estate. It's mine. And he lives in Germany. He's got his own home. He's got his wife and kid, his own life. It's just his pettiness. It's like he wasted time, probably 45 minutes sitting there. He's just trying to muddy the waters and muck up the works. It's just trying to make trouble. And it's like, this is a serious situation. It needs to be resolved. And he doesn't have, he really has Paul has no real genuine interest in the property, what happens to it at all. He just wants to feel empowered and bully people around. And it's just he seems he should occupy himself with other things. And he's just annoying everybody, and everybody knows he's got mental issues now. If you have mental problems, it seems like you want to try to mask the problems and try to function as normal in society as you can, and still let everybody know that you're seriously mentally ill, and it just bothering people the way he is. He's not going to come stay on the property. He never has before. He's not interested in it. He's just trying to create problems. So, yeah, so that's what's going on. Michael's trying to. So, from 1 o'clock till 3:15, and what comes out is they want to get an independent appraiser to come and see how much the property is worth. It's just not. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I don't care. Like I said, it might be appraised. I remember this has been several years ago, but they expanded the Highway 59, and there's this man that he had a feed store, for livestock and all. And anyway, they widened the highway, and they had to take his property for eminent domain. And it's like, the county said my property is worth all this much money, and then when it's time for them to pay me, oh no, it's worth far, far less than that. It's like, so you want to tax me through the wazoo, saying it's but when it's time for you to pay me for this property, you say it's not worth hardly anything. So he's really upset about that, and it's very likely, especially with the flooding, the swampland, the alligators. You can see alligators sometimes. It's like a piece of wood in the pond. There's alligators on it. We've seen alligators on the road. So that's going to be factored in, the value of the property, the cemetery, the alligators, the swampland, and the propensity of flooding. Dad's got the house. The water's never gone inside the house, but we've often had a moat, in serious flooding and hurricanes. You're going to have a moat around the house. It's been, sometimes you couldn't get to it, because there's water over the driveway. So that's what happened. That's what's happening. So that's where we're at now. I'm going to get an independent appraiser to come in and appraise the real market value of the property, 16 acres in the house. And Paul's not really interested. He's just trying to, I feel powerful. I'm going to create difficulties for everybody and interfere and meddle and everything. Look how important and special I am, And everybody knows, like, man, this guy's got serious mental problems. I guess he wants everybody to know, So that's what's happening. So what's going to happen? I hope in the end, what's probably going to happen is probably going to be divided. We got a plan for that in the end. And he's not going to make a lot of money. Hopefully after this appraisal, I hope Mike and Teresa realize that this is not going to, their get rich scheme off this lot in the middle of the country out in Shepherd in a flood zone. It's not going to happen for them. And they just need to get realistic and start serious negotiation. If they need to just give the will up or talk about subdividing a lot out for them to, stop playing around. So I think what needs to happen is the cemetery, the driveway, the house, my house, will stay in the Mystics, and then the undeveloped area, which has got, it's rural property, but it's got, property on the road. We'll see. I put the proposal out there, but I think that he's going to try to see. Michael wants to seize everything and get $500,000 for this property. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But maybe the good thing about this, having independent appraisal of the property, is stop living in a fantasy world and start really see how much the property is actually worth. And he's not going to get rich off of it like he thinks. Especially, I guess it's like, we're going to take the whole property. We're going to kick Stephen Misick out in the street, take all of his property, and we're going to get $500,000. That's $250,000 for Teresa. So she gets to go into my house and burglarize me, and then by taking all these legal documents, the will and my father's journals, and then she's rewarded. This is what she's she's going to take the entire 16 acres of the house, everything that all my property, and just cash it out, and I'll be left with nothing. Is that going to happen? I don't think so. Could happen. Unlikely, but there could be a benefit in getting the appraisal, because they'll find out that at best it's going to be probably less than $100,000 they're going to have to divide among themselves. And they're not going to get the whole property. They're not going to get the cemetery. Their idea is to desecrate those graves. It's not going to happen. And if mediation fails, it goes to the judge. The judge is going to divide the property in two. If they just want to cash out, which is what they want, then they'll get that lot. That's what's going to happen in the end. All their little schemes, and it's just, they're going to fail. That's what I believe is going to happen. But anything could happen, and we need to pray about this situation. So that's where we're at now. Pray that. Joan Rivers had a comment: "Get a life." My brother in Germany needs to focus on his life. He's not interested in the property at all, except for a way to create conflict and drama and resentment, and fester, screw things up. That's all he wants to do. So he needs to just bug off. This is a serious situation that needs to be resolved. So that's where we're at. So just keep on praying for the situation. Thank you. Talk to you soon.